everyone, and welcome to episode 25 of Pixel Perfect Gaming. I am Chris.
And I'm Pat. Welcome.
Welcome. We made 25 episodes, Pat. We did it.
We did it. That's the quarter mark.
We are almost into 2 pages on the website. I almost have to make a second page. Actually, I have 2 pages, I guess, technically. So I'm almost into 3 pages.
I mean, technically, couldn't you just make it as many pages as you wanted?
Yeah, I mean, I could. I thought about just making it one long page. You just scroll for a lifetime for however many episodes we have, but that seems really annoying. So I decided against it.
You should just give each episode its own page. So if you're ever talking to someone, you'd be like, yeah, we have our own website for our podcast. And we have 25 pages of podcasts.
Well, I mean,
wow.
technically, so the list is its own page, but if you click on listen, it is its own separate page. So I do every page for each podcast. Better for search engine optimization. So that's why some weeks I'm like, the podcast comes out on Wednesday, but the website doesn't get updated till like Friday, because I'm just like, I gotta create all these pages and do all this work. So is what it is.
Gotcha.
But this week, we are going to be mostly talking about E3 as it is done and all the stuff for that. But we've got a couple odds and ends here and there as well. Pat and I decided that we wanted to talk because about declawing a little bit because, you know, we talk about cats pretty infrequently, honestly, compared to gaming. But
we love cats.
We do love cats, yes, and we take it very seriously. And there was something recent that happened in the realm of cats that I thought that we'd talk about, kind of bring attention to it, because I think it's a topic that not everybody knows about, and not everyone understands how big of a deal it is.
Definitely. I mean, I was one of those people before I met you.
Yeah, I recall that I kind of enlightened you to the idea of why declawing is a terrible thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, you 100% talked me out of it because we were considering it for Schmidt because, you know, with him being raised on his own in quick little backstory for people, Schmidt came from a litter that some of the kittens had feline leukemia. So all of the kittens were all separated from each other and from other cats. And so he was basically, for the first couple months of his life, raised in a room alone with no interaction from other cats. So whenever we got him, he didn't really understand play, biting, play, scratching, you know, all that stuff. So whenever you play with him, he fuck you up. It was rough. And so we were toying with the idea of declawing him so that way he didn't hurt us whenever we played with him. And well, I tell you, we told Chris and he was
that
like,
was a mistake.
Don't you fucking dare.
I was like,
no,
our
friendship
is
I'm glad
over before we begins. Yeah, no, definitely not a mistake in hindsight. It just ends up being like, you know, you just need to teach cats that hands are not toys, which can be difficult for some cats, that cat in particular. But yeah, so we bring it up because New York recently passed a bill to ban declawing in the state. And it's actually the first state here in the U.S. And we actually do have some listeners from other countries. So it is the first state here in the U.S. to ban declawing. It's been banned in many other countries, and if you're in one of those countries, you may be thinking, why the fuck has it taken so long to just ban it in one state? And that's where I'm sitting. I don't understand that either. We've had some small counties in California ban it before, but New York was the first one to make the step and outright ban it in an entire state, and hopefully more states will follow, as it's kind of barbaric, unfortunately.
You know, I think it's taking so long and is still going to take so long simply because of the money that it brings in.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about too, is it's a good source of income for veterinarians to do it, and it's a relatively easy process. I think it takes about half an hour for the front 2 paws or something like that. So it doesn't take a lot of time, but they charge like $300+ for the operation.
Yeah.
So it's pretty ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Very much so. And, I mean, I remember whenever you first started looking for a vet for Houdini, you were calling around to a ton of different vets, and one of the first things you were asking was, do you declaw cats there? Because you didn't want to go somewhere that did that. You didn't want to support that business. And I don't know if you ever actually found one.
In Worcester, it was really difficult. I did eventually find one, and then here where I live now, it's there's only one place that does it. There's probably about 15 vet offices in the area within an hour, and there's only one place that doesn't declaw. And everybody, you call and you ask, like, hey, do you declaw? And they happily will be like, oh yeah, absolutely, we'll be glad to do that. And I'm like, no, I don't want that shit at all. I'm not giving you
You're
my
like the
money.
exact opposite, buddy.
Yeah, like that's not what I want at all. I'm not going to give you any of this money.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess what a lot of people probably don't know, and like what I didn't know as well myself until you had enlightened me on it, and then I started doing my own research, was that I guess part of me always thought like, all right, it's like human nails, and it's almost like they're removing the nail bed or something, so the claws stop growing back. But that's not what it is at all. It's a complete removal of that first joint.
Yeah, it is. It ends up being an amputation, which a lot of people that advocate against it, they'll tell you it's similar to like removing the first knuckle of a human hand. And a lot of the times, unfortunately, it actually doesn't. It doesn't cause the nail to not grow back. So there are a lot of cats where the nails actually continue to grow back, but they never grow back out through the skin. So they just circular. Like you can look up videos of it. They just continually grow over years inside the paw of the cat, which obviously can lead to infections and all kinds of issues. And then it needs to get surgically removed again. And it could constantly just keep regrowing back and back again.
That sounds absolutely terrible.
Yeah. And what's frustrating too is that, most people, there's no medical reason to declaw a cat. It's strictly to save your furniture typically, or to basically, when you have a baby, you're thinking the cat's going to tear the shit out of the baby. And which cat, maybe cat ownership just isn't the right move for you, but declawing is not the way to do it. Because typically what happens is when you declaw a cat, and there are people that obviously don't have this experience when they declaw their cat, and that's anecdotal because it's not just you lucked out, I guess. But oftentimes for cats, they end up with a lot of joint pain and a lot of sensitivity in their front paws if you do it. And so then it hurts to go to the litter box. So they end up, going to the bathroom outside the litter box typically, which is a big thing that cat owners don't like, understandably.
And a lot of people don't link that to the declawing of the cat.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it can actually make the cat more aggressive. That you took away their main line of defense, which is protecting themselves with their claws. So now it makes them more aggressive, and they're more likely to bite, which actually increases the likelihood of injury and infection from cats. So it actually makes them more dangerous. So if you declaw a cat thinking I'm protecting my baby, and the cat decides to bite your baby, that's actually worse than if the cat had just scratched it.
Yep.
But I will also say, if you have a child and you get angry at the cat for the child pulling its tail, you're getting angry at the wrong thing. Okay, you need to teach your kids to not grab at animals' tails.
I agree.
I don't think you punish cats for stuff like that. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, how dare you eat the animal that you are?
Yeah. So it's one of those situations where a lot of times cats get declawed. They end up becoming more aggressive or going to the bathroom outside the litter box. And so then people get rid of them, or oftentimes they put them outside, which cats have a struggle to survive outside without their claws. Or they end up in shelters where people no longer want to adopt them. And so they ultimately end up putting them down. So it actually shortens the lives of cats more often than not.
Yeah, so stop fucking declawing your cats.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. And to give you an idea of, I mean, there's some pretty big countries that have banned it across the entire country. For example, England, it's legal in England, Sweden, Brazil, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, Italy. Like it's illegal to declaw in those countries entirely. Like you'll go to jail for doing it there.
Good, and I hope that happens here soon because, I mean, sure, it's not like we're reaching out to a ton of fucking people here, but once you people hear this, like, if some of you do declaw your cats, I really hope that this changes your mind about it. And if you still looking to go, well, I don't want them to fuck up my furniture. Well, then stop taking the fucking lazy, easy way out of ripping their front joints off and curb the behavior.
Yeah, because you can definitely fix the behavior. A lot of people think the cats are not trainable in the same sense that dogs are, but you can absolutely teach a cat to leave your furniture alone and to do other things. Scratching posts, sticky paws, tape. You can even do the soft paws, the caps that you put over their claws. That's a better alternative because it doesn't hurt the animal at all. There are definitely ways to curb that behavior without, surgically removing their only line of defense and damaging them.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like if your kid has a problem with pinching people, you're gonna remove their fucking fingers.
I mean, if you're okay with declawing cats, you probably should. Like, you should be
Yeah,
on board with
stick to your guns. I better start
that.
seeing kids with no fingers walking around.
Be on board with that.
I
Not to
would honestly probably
mention,
respect people a little bit if they were like, "Well, you told me to stick to my guns." I'm like, all right, buddy.
I'd be like, I get it. That makes sense now. Yeah. Plus, on top of that, when you remove their nails, like they walk on those paws, and so it hurts for them to walk on their paws afterwards, and so then they start to walk on what is essentially their wrist, which causes arthritis and joint pains in cats. So as they get older, it actually hurts for them to walk. And on heavier set cats, especially large cats like tigers and stuff like that, because they do declaw tigers and lions for movie sets, which I'm also definitely against. But bigger cats and even like larger fat household cats, they start to struggle to walk on their wrist, and so it hurts over time. So eventually can actually lead to like renal failure because they won't go eat or drink water because it hurts too much to actually get up.
Oh, that's fucked.
So imagine how sad that would be for your cat to die from, a kidney failure because it doesn't want to drink water because it hurts so much because you removed its nails, 5 years ago or something like that. Like that's fucked.
That is really fucked up. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's sad. So I mean, I would definitely do your research. Consider this stuff. Do your research. There's a great documentary out there called Paw Project, which I'll link in the notes. That's where I first learned about it, and after that, I was 100% on board. And if you're an advocate for this type of thing, then take it seriously. Where you take your pets. If they declaw, then consider finding another veterinarian that doesn't. Don't spend your money on places that are willing to declaw animals. Because to me, it's kind of like, how seriously do you take the health and well-being of my animal if you're willing to do this?
Yeah. Yep.
So
I agree with you.
yeah, that's my soapbox. I hope more states follow up with it. That would be nice.
I agree.
So let's move on to something else here. Now that I've ranted enough, the loading screen. So Pat, you mentioned that you joined like a competitive league group.
Yeah. So there is it's called the ESDL. And you know what? I know the L stands for league, and I don't know what the what the rest stands for. Let's see here. Let's hit their website real quick. See if it says. It doesn't even say on the website.
Wow.
What is the ESL? What does the ESD stand for?
Is it like a ELO something or another? I don't know.
No, because it's not just League of Legends. Like they do. Let's see. They do League. They do Overwatch, Fortnite, CS:GO, Apex, Siege, PUBG, and Rocket League.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it's not just
variety
League.
of games. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to pay.
Oh, do you? I didn't
There is an
realize
entry fee. So you have to pay. There's a $25 entry fee that gets
that.
you onto a team for the season. And you fill out a little form, it asks you when your availability is and what role you prefer, if you're willing to play other roles, what those roles would be, your level of how serious you want to take it. Like, you just here to have fun? You looking to be able to improve? Or you looking to, are you at a higher level and you're looking to improve to hopefully make it to, like a more like an academy league kind of thing, to actually try to maybe help advance and build a career, that kind of thing. Supposedly this company, before they started doing this, was like an analytical company for esports that would actually sell information to pro teams. And so then now they're trying to kind of broaden themselves as almost like a scouting community for teams, I believe, is kind of what their goal is. If I the support in the Discord is very responsive, and we'll just kind of like sit around and chat with people. And if I gather what they said in the one conversation correctly, I believe that's kind of what they're going for here, which I think is pretty cool. But me and Pegs got placed on a team together. I'm the AD carry. He is a mid main, but he got placed in the top lane. We got 3 other dudes on the team with us, and our games are actually start this Monday. And some of them might be streamed, and we are welcome to stream our own games as well. So I might stream them for anyone that would be interested in watching it.
We'll have to link your stream on the on the website. Now, is it just to climb in ranked, or is it just to have people to play with, or what's the overall goal for it?
It. Well, what do you mean? Like it's a league. Like it's like a bracket play, like a round robin into playoffs kind of thing. Like you
Oh,
will go
you're
against
competing
other
within the league
teams.
individually. See, I didn't know if you
Yeah.
were paying to join a group so you could find people to play like ranked league, to climb your own rank individually through league. If you were just looking for people to play with, but okay, so it's like its own internal league separate of
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So it's an entry fee to be able to enter the tournament, so to say. Um,
So it's just to try it out basically. Right?
yeah. I mean,
Like has Peg's
if
done
it
it before, or
goes,
is this the first time for him too?
this first time for him too. We tried joining another one. I think it was last summer. Um, it was a different organization and everything. Um, and it was free, but there was no guarantee to placement.
Mm-hmm.
And neither of us got placed on a team, which was a bummer.
Hmm.
So this one, while it did cost a little bit of money to enter it, I really like competitive. I'm really competitive. I like competition, and this gives you a team to play with and practice with, and build yourselves around each other and everything. And I enjoy that aspect, and like we already know who our opponents are, and as soon as we found out, I was immediately scouting each one of them to see who their most played champs were, who they play well on, and like, all right, guys, here's who we should look at banning, and yada yada, and I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be a
Hmm.
lot of fun.
Interesting. Off topic, real quick. Have you done anything different with your mic recently over the past 2 weeks?
No,
It's got like a crackle to it now.
does it? Damn it!
Mm-hmm.
Echo,
It's
chewing on my mic.
it's got like a yeah. It almost seems like it's peaking or something. It's got like a little bit of crackle. I heard it on the last episode too
And like
when
a
I was
tinny
editing it.
sound to it.
I don't know. It's can definitely tell that there's something going on.
Yeah, Echo has chewed on my mic. I got little bite marks on it, right on the fucking mic piece. And
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean,
Bummer.
no one said anything about it yet. So I had just kind of assumed it was all right and wasn't looking into a new headset or anything. So I was like, oh, like it's no one said that it sounds like crap or anything or sounds
I
different at
just
all.
noticed it last week, so I haven't noticed it over the past couple episodes. It was just last week when I was editing. I was like, "What is this crackle? Like, is it through the audio? Like, is it the audio overall? Maybe the recording messed up." And now that I'm hearing it live, I'm kind of like, "Oh, it's a mic issue." It sounds like so. Okay.
Ah, damn it all.
Yep. The hard thing for you is that I mean, you want a wireless mic so you can like walk around. Although it sounds like you sit at your computer more frequently than you used to.
I do, but I still like the wireless up the mic because, in all honesty, like I get up and walk around in between games while we're recording and stuff, and like you never know it. I like
Yeah.
to pace when I'm having a conversation. Um, if we're sitting in queue waiting for the queue to pop, I like to be able to have my headset on. I can continue chatting with everyone while I go grab a drink real quick, and then I can hear the queue pop in my ear and hurry up and take the
Run
three
back.
steps back to my computer and accept and not miss the queue. I really like the wireless, and it's just one less fucking cord for me to run over with my chair.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe time to look at another wireless solution.
Ah, what a bummer.
A little bit, yeah,
I'm genuinely
unfortunately.
upset. Shut it down, Chris. I can't continue
Shut it
recording
down.
today. I
It's
just
over. Between
Christ.
that and the Bill and Ted issue at the beginning, like it's too much.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, my fiance and our gracious host here have never seen Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. They've never seen either one.
You're welcome. And I mean, I'm probably not going to anytime soon, honestly, but is what
Look,
it
I
is,
mean,
I guess. I'm kind of bummed out that you need a new wireless headset because we could go to Best Buy together and we could spend time looking at them. I
come
miss
on up,
that.
buddy.
That would be nice. Because that's how we ended up getting what was it, your mouse, I think is what we
My
did.
mouse,
You're
yeah.
like, I need a new mouse.
And
I'm like,
that,
let's go to Best Buy.
I think, and the headset I had before this one, yeah. We did
Yeah, you
both.
might be right. Oh, I think I bought a mouse too while we were out there. I didn't even need
Yeah.
one. I bought one anyway.
That's why I liked bringing you along, because I knew that I could also talk you into getting something, and it made me feel better about my purchase.
Yeah, I would just be like, well, I need a new mouse, and you'd be like, but isn't Caitlin gonna like get after you for this? And I'm like, nah, I'll just throw the other one away. She won't even notice.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I made it sound like you had an out, you know?
When you have to be worried about people yelling at you for how you spend your own money, I'm like, that's a healthy relationship right there.
Hey, well, you know, you could have bad spending habits. It's not necessarily always a negative thing.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I could just be throwing my money at everything.
Could be coming over with a new mouse every week.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Chris, you bought that same mouse 3 weeks ago. Well,
Yeah,
I
but this
forgot,
one's
you know?
this one's got skin fragments on it, and I need the non-skin fragment one. You know, collects my oils over the weeks. I need a new one.
Oh
That's
Lord.
cool. You have to update us on the league stuff as it goes, though. That sounds like it could be fun.
Yeah, I will. We've already been practicing with each other. But one of the issues with us practicing with each other is we haven't been able to practice as a full 5. The most we've had on at one time so far was 4. It's
Mm-hmm.
either like last night, Pegs wasn't able to join. His baby was being a dick.
Oh,
No, I'm just
isn't he
kidding,
sick?
Pegs, don't. No, I think he said the baby's feeling better. He was just being wouldn't go to bed last night or something. Was just being a handful last night. So he wasn't able to join up for us. And then we had 4 again today, but our support wasn't able to join. Our support broke his elbow yesterday. Our game starts Monday. He
Awesome.
broke his elbow yesterday.
Of the arm that he uses to play, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, you need both arms in
I mean,
League.
kind of, but one needs to be a little bit more mobile than the other.
But so he broke it because he was at a church event and in his words went to jump over something to prove to these young kids that he could still do it.
Oh, Jesus.
And he could not still do it.
Maybe he did do it.
No, he didn't. He said he didn't. He said his foot caught it when he went over and he ate shit.
Have you told him about our podcast? You should do that if you haven't.
I might have.
sure
I
you
did
do.
talk about the podcast a little bit
good.
because I said that I would have to take a break from practice at some point today to record the podcast.
Cool. Yeah, so you have to keep us updated on that. Are they all East Coast, like the other 3 people you're playing with?
No, one is there's me, Pegs, and then Broken Elbow guy. I don't want to name people. I don't know if they would like being named.
That's fine.
On the podcast,
yeah, understandable.
So, sorry, I have to refer to you as Broken Elbow guy if you do ever listen to this, but I have no other defining feature to you. So Broken Elbow guy, he's also East Coast with me and Pegs. And then our mid laner is Mountain Time. So he's 2 hours behind us, and then our jungler is 3 hours behind us.
Gotcha. So that can make it a little tricky too by itself.
Yeah, but luckily, everyone can make the Monday game time, and the guy who works night shift he has off Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays, so we can get some practice in today. We'll have time before matches on Mondays to go over our drafts, what we're looking to do, and then Tuesdays get a little practice in, kind of work out the kinks from the day before. If we played poorly, try to correct those things. And just because we don't have all 5 on doesn't mean we can't, play with 3 or 4 here or there to still
get something done.
Synergy.
You get to build the chemistry, yeah. So at least you can get something done regardless. So that's good.
Yeah. So
cool.
But yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds like a nice twist instead of just grinding out the ranks in League. Like this sounds like it could be potentially more fun and more enjoyable, honestly.
Yeah? Are you interested, Christopher?
No, I'm not interested.
I don't know. I think there's a little bit of you in there that's like, that could maybe sound fun. I'll let you know how it goes. We'll see what happens. Because I'm thinking that there might be a part of you that would be interested in and like a set team practice, actually competitive working together, because like they have strict policies on like toxicity within the team and everything as well. And
I mean,
like
that is what I liked about doing competitive game, like the big competitive stuff for Rainbow Six and Call of Duty when I did that. And when I was on game battles and stuff, like that's part of what I found appealing, was just having a set team and practicing together and all that kind of stuff. I do like that.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. You're coming back?
No, probably not.
I can't wait, dude. You're gonna like watch our game. I'm gonna stream it. You're gonna watch it, and you're gonna hear this just clean, crisp communication. You're gonna be like, like that's what I always wanted. Let me in on this.
Or it's going to be, it doesn't go well, but the conversation afterwards is like, you know what, this is what we can improve on. That's the kind of stuff I like, instead of people just raging, and just being complete dicks to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see. We'll see.
I
no
know,
promises.
dude. There's a spark.
No
in
promises.
there. I can feel it. There's a spark. You don't need to promise, man. I can already. My heart is warmed. I can feel it. Dude. I got goosebumps. Christopher.
That's funny. All right.
I don't call you Christopher at any point in my life, except for on this podcast for some reason, and I don't know why.
I don't know that.
Have you noticed that?
I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know. So, all right. So on to the not E3 yet. So loading screen for me, because I have been playing stuff. Just not on my computer. I restarted Octopath Traveler because it just came out on Steam, and I was considering buying it on Steam because I saw a review between the Switch version and the Steam version, and it looks a little bit better on the PC version. The problem is it's $60, which is a really stupid high price point for that game. So I didn't buy it, but I decided to restart on Switch because I never actually finished it. I got maybe like 9 or 10 hours in, and I was like, it was a good game. I want to restart it. So I started it over this week from the beginning. And I'm a little bit further than when I was when I quit, actually. Yeah, I'm about 11 hours in. What's that?
And are you still interested?
Yeah, I'm still playing it. I played it. I pretty much play it whenever I'm like getting up in the morning before work or lunch break, and then a little bit after work. So yeah, I'm still playing it. It's a good time. I like that game.
Nice.
But additionally, I played a board game recently.
Ooh, tell me all about it. Give me the juicy details. Read me the rule book. Let's go.
Yeah, board games are not something I get to play very often.
Same.
Mostly because I don't know. I mean, I've got some friends in this area, but we don't really get together in that capacity. In fact, we don't really get together much at all.
I also think the thing with board games is, like we said before, people are like, oh yeah, we'll play like Monopoly or whatever, but we like board games that are more complicated than that, and some people are just off-put.
Yeah, definitely. So we played, Liz and I went to her sister's apartment with her boyfriend and their friend who was in town, and she's played Dead of Winter before and she really likes it, and I love Dead of Winter, so I took it over. So it was sitting on the table for a couple hours, like just sitting there, like we weren't going to play it. And then finally someone was like, all right, so what's this board game about? And I was like, oh, buckle up. We're going to play this game. And as expected for a game of, that kind of difficulty and a little bit more, I don't know, explanation, half the table was sitting there like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I was like, that's fine. It just takes a round. We'll all figure it out. It's going to be good. But it was a good time. We played with a betrayer, which has a small percentage of having a betrayer in the first place. And I thought it was Liz's sister. And I was really close to voting her out, because you can vote people out in that game. So I was really close to voting her out of the group. And then I thought maybe it was Liz, and ended up actually being her. So I was very upset. So it sucked. We finished the main objective, like we won the main objective, but you have to win individually too. So even though the main objective was completed, I gave away one item the round before that I needed to win my personal objective, not thinking it was going to be over the next round, and it was before it got back to my turn. So I lost because I gave away that item. Yeah. And Liz as a betrayer did not win because she had to do something. I think get morale to 0 or something like that, which she didn't get done. So that was good. But I was a little frustrated that it was her. I didn't trust her for a little bit after that.
God, I'm so jealous.
It was good. It was really good. I would love to play that game more frequent. I don't think we ever played that game together, did we? Maybe
We
one
did.
time.
We played it, I think, once, and but we were all new to it at whenever we played it.
Yeah.
And so like we were playing through it, and I know you and I were enjoying it.
I think it was one of those situations of like it's so new and hard to grasp the first round, and there's like just rules that you play it one time and you go, okay, let's go play something that we know how to play. And I think we moved to like House on the Hill or something immediately afterwards, and we just
Yeah,
probably never went back to it, honestly.
yeah. Betrayal was our shit.
Yeah, I mean, I love Dead of Winter probably more than Betrayal, honestly. Um, although I
You know, I
did,
feel
we
like I would if I had the opportunity.
Yeah, I think you'd really enjoy it because we were actually at Target yesterday and we saw Betrayal at Target and I was like, that's what we'll be playing if we go to Massachusetts at some point, probably.
Dude,
But I
bring
would,
Dead of Winter along.
yeah, I would end up bringing Dead of Winter and probably Resistance as well, just so we could all scream at each other and hate each other a little bit.
Don't we need 5 people for Resistance?
Shit, I think you're right. Yeah, we could put Schmidt in there. You think he would play?
We can get him in on it.
as a as a useless cat, Schmidt, I'm taking you on this mission. I trust you.
Dude, I'll post on Craigslist saying looking for one more for board game night.
How did your D&D session go, by the way? Because you played D&D with the one group last week, right, for the first time?
Oh yeah, yeah. It went well. So it's Pathfinder, not D&D. It's the
Close
same
enough.
thing. It's just under a different name.
Yeah,
It's just some of the mechanics and things like that are a little different, but it's the same, like the exact same general concept. It's a tabletop role playing game,
gotcha.
um, and it was fun. I like to think I know my shit with Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like, all right, like I'll be able to transfer some of this over to Pathfinder, and we're like, all right, I can whip up a D&D character in 10 minutes. It took all of us 5 hours to make our characters.
Good lord.
Dude, it's character creation in
Although
that game is
I was gonna say,
so
isn't it more
complicated.
expansive than? Because I think you were reading some of the details to me at one point, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
It is extremely complicated in Pathfinder, which like is cool in like it's like a bittersweet thing, It's like you get a lot more customization with your character. You can really fine tune them to the kind of person you want them to be with these things.
Right.
Um, but at the same time, it's just a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But once we actually like not to say I didn't enjoy it. Like I had fun sitting around with everyone and like making our characters and kind of like spitballing stuff back and forth and whatnot. Um, and then once we like actually got into the playing as well, that was a ton of fun. I made a bard, a halfling bard. So he's 3 feet tall and he's very like over the top flamboyant. Um, and the campaign opens with us all in like entering into town in different ways because no one knew each other yet in game
Right.
except for me and one other guy. We knew each other, and that was just like on a whim because we both ended up being like our backstories both ended up being circus related. So we're like, oh, like let's just tie these together. Like, why not? Um, It'll kind of take out the nuance of our characters having to get to know each other, air quotes. Um, so we did that, and so we're all in the tavern and having to get to know each other, and it was fun. One guy is like a huge, massive, like half orc paladin. Another guy is what is he? I think he's a human. He's like a human fighter, and he's also huge. And I'm just this 3 foot tall bard halfling, just walking around with my lute, playing little songs. And I take Tenacious D songs, Jack Black and
Yeah.
Kyle Gass's band, and I take those and like twist them into my songs to apply
Oh
in
my
game.
gosh.
Uh, and so like they're like, we're at the bar and we're having ale, and they're having like their big glasses of ale, and I'm like, all right, I go and I sit right in between the two of them, and I order a glass of milk. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, well, why are you ordering milk? And I try to, like, kind of like jab at the one a little bit, and he says he goes to try to shove me off of my stool. And then you got to remember, I'm 3 feet tall. I probably weigh like 50 pounds, right? and so we have to do contesting strength checks
Right.
to see if he succeeds or not. And I win. All right. I have no bonus to my strength checks. So it was 100% just not in my favor to win this, and I win it. And so he doesn't push me off the stool. So I have my guy stand up on the stool and just lean into his ear and go, "That's the milk." And then that's become our thing. Now,
Oh my God.
anytime something happens, we're like, that's the milk.
That's the milk. That's good. So it sounded like it went well for the first session, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I only knew one of the guys going in, and everyone seems
Really
like
nice
dudes. And
you got new friends. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to call them acquaintances for now.
For now. Yeah, for now. They'll be friends eventually, hopefully.
Yeah, agreed.
That'll be good. All right, cool. So let's see. Let's talk about the gaming and the gaming news, which is all E3 related, because obviously that's like the biggest thing that's happened over the past week. So I'll start with this question for you. So you haven't watched anything from what you told me. Based on what you read, what are you most excited about?
This is going to sound really weird. Okay.
Uh-oh.
This is going to really come out of left field for you. You're not going to expect it. Now, knowing that, would you like to take a guess?
Is it Animal Crossing?
Fuck no, it's not Animal Crossing.
Is it Avengers?
It's not Avengers. No. It's
I don't know
then. That John Bernthal is going to be voicing like the main villain in the new Ghost Recon. Because I love John Bernthal.
Who is that? Is that the guy that did the Walking Dead? Is that guy?
Yeah, he was Shane on The Walking Dead. And
the Punisher and stuff?
Yeah,
he's got a cool voice. I like him. He seems like a nice guy. He was there at the conference, too. He was at E3.
Yeah, and then, you got Keanu Reeves as well.
I think he brought his dog out on stage or something. The dog just, like, chilled and, like, laid down. It was cool.
Oh, geez. What's not to love about this guy?
It was nice. Yeah, Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk was really cool, and then obviously him showing up, everyone loved that. That was really cool.
And he got like wholesomely heckled, You're breathtaking from the crowd. I saw that. I saw a video of that.
And then he's like, "No, you're breathtaking."
Yeah,
and then
I love fucking Keanu Reeves, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, what a guy! What a guy! What else did you see that you're looking forward to?
What else I'm looking forward to? I don't know if there's a whole lot that I'm necessarily looking forward to, as much as it was just stuff that like I thought was cool.
Final Fantasy VIII Remaster.
I mean, yeah, like that's really cool, but honestly, I don't know if I'm looking forward to it because it's just a remaster, and I already have it. I already have it on PC. I already have it for PlayStation. So that's one of those things that falls under that's cool.
Now, I would like it. I think if you already own it on PC and Steam, I'd like it if they load out the remaster patch for free, similar to what Bethesda did with Skyrim. If you already owned it on Steam, then you get the updated edition for free. That would be really cool. Dope. Yeah, that would be really cool. I've seen the images for the remaster. It looks good, but I mean, it's there's only so much you can do with a game that old. So
exactly. So that's why I'm not going to be like amazingly excited and pumped over it. It's not like we're suddenly going to be amazing crisp graphics and whatnot. So
yeah,
I already have it.
It'll be neat.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think it'll be neat. It was a nice announcement. Didn't expect it. I heard the music because I was watching the conference, and as soon as the music came on, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Are they remaking another Final Fantasy game? I was about to lose my shit.
If it was a remake,
that would be stunning.
I'd have been
lost your mind.
That'd have been fucking awesome.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the other stuff. Cyberpunk got a release for April for next year, which is earlier than I expected, honestly. I kind of thought maybe end of next year, but maybe like 2021, just because, CD Projekt Red, they'll take as long as they need to. So I kind of thought it was going to wait. The gameplay looks really good, though.
I'm not too surprised by it, because, I mean, it was announced that it's a thing like quite a while ago.
Yeah, it's been on there for a while, but then I mean, you could say the same thing about like Kingdom Hearts, and
that's
13 years later. So I don't know.
That's an outlier.
For them to say, I think it was like last year, like late last year, they said, it'll take as long as it takes. Made me think like, okay, we're probably like another year or two away from it, maybe 2. So I was a little surprised at April 2020. I think what surprised me the most is how many damn games are coming out first quarter of next year. I feel like my wallet's really going to be hurting first quarter next year with all this stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially because I want Cyberpunk 2077. It looks really good. Looks like a lot of fun. Doom Eternal comes out in November of this year, which is cool. It looks pretty good. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to buy it immediately, but I'll definitely keep an eye on it. And then the Final Fantasy VIII remaster comes out sometime this year. They didn't announce, so I assume probably fall would be that.
Mm-hmm.
Halo Infinite comes out holiday of next year. I watched the video of that. I don't own an Xbox. I probably won't ever play it, so it doesn't really matter to me much.
I don't remember. Were you ever a Halo guy?
Yes, I did really like the first one. And then I was indifferent on 2 and 3 after that, honestly. The first one I really, really liked, though.
Gotcha. Was it things in particular about the ones that like put you off to it, or you were just kind of like, I'm over Halo?
I don't know. I think the first one just hit at a right time at the right age where, there was not really a lot of multiplayer options. So it was like you play with the system link and stuff like that, or 4-player LAN and those kind of things. And because of that, the focus was on the story more than, the story and the main campaign. That's really all you had. Whereas obviously when 2 and 3 rolled out, they had multiplayer online. And so that was a different focus. And I think it just kind of took away from the campaign a little bit. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then they announced Watch Dogs Legion, which I think I played a little bit of the first Watch Dogs and it was okay. Watch Dog Legion is interesting because there's a lot of playable NPC characters. Like you can play just about any person that you see on the street. Like you can take over and play them. It's very strange. Yeah, the gameplay is very strange. It comes out in March of next year, though.
They're going to have like little Easter egg characters. Like you just find this one, like they don't look any different from anyone else, but you just find this one little NPC to take control of that just has some wild shit you could do.
Someone that's unique. I wouldn't be surprised. And you can recruit people, and like you can recruit just about anybody. From what I saw, they showed like an 80-year-old granny that it's like a retired assassin. Apparently, it was pretty funny. She's like beating people with her purse.
Yeah, and like the animations for it actually like look good. Like she's beating the shit out of you and doing it all, but it looks like old and lethargic while she's doing it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So, that looks, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I may be interested in that when that rolls out. A lot of people were looking for Avengers, which comes out, I believe, May of next year, which is like, meh, I don't know. I'll see about that one for me personally. And then Nintendo delayed Animal Crossing until March of next year. And then they announced Breath of the Wild 2, which I'm sure tons of people are really excited about. I don't remember watching anything about it other than just knowing they announced it, though.
I think it was just like a small announcement trailer almost kind of thing.
It was just like a in development now kind of thing. That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, people are definitely super excited about that. Because I know you're not a huge fan of Zelda.
Right.
You told me before that you don't care about Breath of the Wild and everything, but like within the Zelda community, like people fucking love that one in particular.
Yeah, I could definitely see why people love it. I get why people enjoy the game. I just have never been a Zelda fan, and I just can't get into it. When I borrowed it from Nathaniel and played it for 15 minutes and then stopped playing it, I was like, well, that's it. And then I think when he picked it back up, he's like, hey, how would you enjoy it? And I was like, the 15 minutes of it I played was decent, but I just never wanted to play it again. So... Which for a lot of people, like, that's the dream. Playing Breath of the Wild for free, like, that's a dream right there. Didn't have to take my money. Take that, Nintendo.
Got him.
Yeah. So, and Animal Crossing, I never played the original one, but I like those style of games, which are, I don't know, they're interesting. So I may look into that one. But the thing that stole the show for me, which many of you that know I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, you're probably not surprised by this, but the thing that really stole the show for me was Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, so what about it? Because I intentionally did not read anything about that because I wanted to hear it from you.
So I was so excited when it came on. All right. I remember I was grabbing a beer and Liz was getting ready to go shower. And the first thing they talked about was Final Fantasy. And I've been watching the other conferences while laying in bed. but I literally sat on the edge of the bed staring at the TV for this announcement. That's how fucking stoked I was. And I don't express excitement very often in my life, so this was a nice change
Same.
of pace for me.
It's a feeling I don't get very often.
Yeah, there's not too many things in life that I'm like, that's really exciting. But this, I was like, I cannot
Yeah.
wait. I didn't know what they were going to show or anything like that. So I was very pleasantly surprised because they did the first little area and they walked us through. Like they had someone on stage talking about the combat, how it works, the way it works, all that kind of stuff. And then we got to see the first boss fight with the Scorpion all the way through, which was so fucking cool. So I actually made a list of the top 5 things that I loved about the footage because I figured you probably wouldn't see anything. So one of the biggest...
I told you I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's true. So one of the biggest things for this game is combat. I think everyone that is waiting for this game is worried about what the combat is going to look like because the old school Final Fantasy VII is turn-based. And so we're all wondering, okay, it looks real time, but how do you do real time and then have 50 different magic spells? Like, how do I not die while I'm searching for Fire 3 in my inventory? How does that work? So what they did, I really, really like. It's a mixture of Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy 13, where you have active time battle gauges. So each character has, I assume the gauges have to do with the materia that you have equipped, or not the materia, but the weapon and how many slots they have. But I'm not sure. But in this footage, like Cloud had 2, and as you do normal attacks, it fills the gauge, and then you can pause time, or it doesn't really pause it, but like slows it down tremendously, and then you can pick an ability or a spell or something like that. So they did a really good mixture of wait combat for turn-based and real-time fighting where you're mashing the button like Devil May Cry kind of shit. Very cool looking. I was very excited. And go ahead.
I don't know. I just really enjoyed the turn base, like just the vanilla turn base. Like
I do that. Too. I do too, but I think this is a nice. I think this is a nice. This is a nice approach to it because you still get in your face action, and then you get to wait and kind of think about your strategy and what you want to do. I mean, you only control one character at a time, but the other characters are doing stuff, obviously while you're fighting, but they don't use their ATB gauges, I don't believe. I think you get to actively move to them and choose how to use them yourself, which is really cool. So party rotating is very quick, and it showed that Barrett can shoot things from a distance with his gun that Cloud necessarily can't reach, that kind of stuff. So certain enemies in different areas of the battlefield. So I thought that was really cool. There is materia. Materia is still very much a part of the game, and the materia shows up in the weapons, so you can actually see it slotted into Cloud's Buster Sword.
Oh, well, that's dope.
Fucking awesome! Like that is such a small detail. But it was one of those details that when I saw it, I was like, you just get the feeling like they're really putting their time and attention into this game in all the right ways because they're doing something like that. Like that's so minor, but to see it, I was like, we've done it. We've got a game on our hands. So that was really cool. Yeah. And then the Scorpion boss, if you remember the Scorpion boss, very straightforward in the original game. Yep. You just you throw some lightning spells on it. You use your limit breaks. If his tail goes up, you just kind of hang out. You wait for it. In this one, there's a cover mechanic now in the game, so because you run around, so you can take cover, and there are phases to the boss. It was not as simplistic as the original fight. And people that have played the demo of the game said that it actually takes some strategy now to actually fight through this boss. And just the phases and the way that they did it in the video, it makes you wonder, like, wow, what are other bosses going to look like? Like, this is going to be fucking nuts. So, very cool.
Did they show any? Okay, well, 2 quick questions. One, did they show you like still having to run out of the plant like against the timer?
Yeah, so they still have the timer part. I mean, they didn't show any of the footage of like leaving the plant, but I assume that's very much a big part of it. Okay.
And then 2, which maybe you're going to get to, and I'm just hopping ahead, but anything about summons?
Nothing about summons. There was literally nothing. I mean, from what I've read, the summons are going to be CG and not, actively fighting next to you, which is good. I don't want that, but we didn't get to see any glimpse of what the summons look like. But given how visually amazing the game looks, I can't help but think they're going to be just fucking stunning. And I do know they've added new summons into the game that didn't exist in the original. So I'm looking forward to that. Like Carbuncle is in this game. I don't remember Carbuncle being in the original one. And a cactus summon, which I also don't remember there being a Cactuar summon in the original one. There are a couple others too, but
The cat, isn't that one from is that one from 9?
I thought it was from 8 originally, but I might be wrong. I know Carbuckle's an 8, but I thought Cactuar might be an 8 as well, but I'm not entirely sure.
It might be. 9's just the one that sticks out in my head for that one for some reason. Probably because 9 was a lot more like cartoony. Is that what I'm looking for?
Yeah, maybe. So then there's a couple other things to note. The Tifa looks amazing. They did not show Tifa in the gameplay, like in the walkthrough. And then they asked, one of the producers or director, I don't know who it was, they asked him, like, when are we going to see Tifa? And he's like, soon. And just kind of left it at that. And soon, and we thought soon was going to be like months from now, but it literally meant like in 5 minutes when we show you this trailer, you're going to see her. So they
just
showed
fucking horses, buddy.
yeah, just hold the fuck on. You're going to see her, okay? So they showed an extended trailer, which we've seen the first part of the trailer, but they showed the extended version of it, and they showed Tifa and her fighting, and she looks fucking awesome. Her animations look really, really cool. So that was really good. Very excited
so
for that.
The thing that people were complaining about with her.
Her chest.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. I think she looks like a waifu, honestly. So I think she looks great. So I'm excited about that. We got to hear the voice actor for Sephiroth in the trailer.
Ooh, was it good?
I'm very excited for all the voice acting in this game so far. Everybody sounds awesome.
I'm gonna have to look up the voice actors to see if there's any that like I know and enjoy already.
Yeah, so that was really cool. So I mean, the top 5 things for me were combat, the party rotating is cool, Tifa looks great, materia and the weapon, and the scorpion boss. But there's a couple other questions I still have. So like you, I want to know about summons. Like I want to see some of the summons. I want to see what Bahamut looks like. I want to see Typhoon and a couple of the others. Like I want to see what that looks like. Since it's real-time combat, I'm kind of curious, what does random encounters look like? Is random encounters still in the game? How does it work? Do we see the enemies we want to engage in and then decide to engage in them, or how does that work exactly? Given that you're running around in real time, so I'm kind of interested in that. And then with the materia, you have the ATB gauge, and whenever you use a potion, it uses an ATB gauge, or whenever you use an ability, it uses one. So there's some strategy where, you may need to cure or use an ether or something like that, but you need to consider your gauges. So I'm wondering, if you summon, is it going to use all of your gauges? And the same thing for, let's say, all magic with fire 3. Would it use all of your gauges, assuming the all magic's still a thing, which I would guess it probably is. So I'm curious about those kind of components. And then I haven't seen any chocobos. I'd like to see a fucking chocobo, please. Like, show me a black chocobo or something.
So, the voice actor for Sephiroth, I support. Like I haven't heard him yet, but I can just like support it just knowing who it is.
Who is it?
His name is Tyler. I actually don't know how to say his last name. I think like Hoechlin maybe. But he plays Superman in the Supergirl series.
Okay. I mean, it sounded great to me, and the scene that they showed him, it was pretty cool. So there is one big kind of drawback to this whole Final Fantasy VII announcement. Well, it's kind of a huge drawback, and also kind of like whoa at the same time. So the problem is, they announced that the game is coming out in March. Okay, so we're getting it next year in March of 2020, just like all these other games. So, like I said, my wallet is going to be, damaged a little bit because obviously I'm taking time off to play this one, and it's going to be 2 disc, 2 full Blu-ray discs, which they're about 50 gigs each. So
it's massive.
I have to think that this game has to have like main content. I feel like it's got to have like 40, 50 hours of main content in it. I'm not actually sure of that, but that's what I'm hoping, is that it has 40, 50 hours of main story content. However, the focus is Midgar for this first game. So this is not the entire game that we're getting. So in March 2020, we're not getting the full game. I don't know how far it goes, but my guess would probably be up until like Eris' death, probably. And if that, so that's the kind of the whammy for me, is like, okay, it's bullshit. We're not getting the full game. But if they manage to make, 100 gigs worth of content out of just that first disc, or, roughly the first disc of the original game, holy shit.
Watch it just be nothing but like side content.
That would be a bummer. I mean, there is definitely going to be side quests, because there weren't. I don't remember there being a ton of those in the original one. So side quests are definitely going to be a part of it. But I'm hoping for like 40, 50 hours of main content, because then I think they could turn this game that was 40 hours standard with 3 discs, like turn into a 100-hour game by itself.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. Like, I have no issue with side content, whatsoever. That's totally fine. But if they're like, yeah, I mean, the main storyline will probably take you 10 hours to play through, but then we have 100 hours of side content, I'll be like, nah, nope.
Yeah, I've got a problem with that. Yeah, that would really bum me out. I mean, I'm already kind of bummed that they're going to separate it into 2, but that makes me think it's going to be cross-generational at this point. So what I mean by that is that this first game obviously going to be on PS4, but then the next one probably released on PS5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that would be interesting. And the other thing I think I remember seeing was play it first on PS4, which kind of makes me think it's not going to be exclusive forever. They have intentions of bringing it to other consoles.
Or maybe that's just their way of saying the next one's going to be PS5.
Maybe. It could very well be. Or maybe I would like if they bring it to like Steam or something, though. That'd be awesome. And allow modding. That'd be cool.
I mean, I'd be cool with that.
So yeah, that was easily the biggest thing for E3 for me. I mean, I watched the Bethesda conference and it was fucking pitiful with them talking about Fallout 76 and apologizing for their fucking debacles. Saw nothing with Star World, nothing with Elder Scrolls, like no content on either of those at all. So pretty disappointing overall. Microsoft had Cyberpunk. Nintendo had Breath of the Wild and Animal Crossing. Ubisoft announced Watch Dogs and I think something else, but I don't remember what it was now. But yeah, it was all about Final Fantasy VII Remake, which they had demos at E3, and I assume we're probably going to get demos in the next like 2 weeks or so, and then I'm going to play the shit out of that thing. It's going to be awesome. So
I am looking up all these other voice actors, and I don't know any of the other ones.
No?
Yeah, not at all.
Oh, I think I read that Yuffie and Vincent are no longer optional in this version of the game. Whereas obviously before you could choose to get them or not. I don't think they're optional anymore. I think you are going to get them regardless.
I'm going to be honest with you. That is something that is not ringing a bell to me.
Vincent and Yuffie? Do you know who they are? Do you not remember getting them in the original game?
I'm blanking.
So Pat, just want to let you know, you may have missed 2 characters in the original game. Just a heads up on that.
I just totally bypassed them. Is that possible?
Did you ever get Odin in the original game? Do you remember having Odin as a summon?
Yes.
You do remember having Odin.
I want to say yes.
Okay. Because if you got Odin, and I'm operating off of memory here, I'm not 100%, but if you got Odin, that means you open the chest in Sephiroth's Manor, where you have to fight a boss. It's like weirdly physical and magical, like split in half. And then you get a key to the basement area, and then you go downstairs and you meet Vincent. He pops out of a coffin. Does that sound familiar? Guy popping out of the coffin?
Doesn't sound familiar in any way, shape, or form.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think we can confirm that you miss Vincent. Yuffie, you run around in the forest, and she pops up as an enemy, and you have to defeat her. And then I think she joins your party briefly, and then ends up stealing all your materia. It's great.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you have to follow her to her hometown. Yeah, you follow her to her hometown. You do like a quest line there, and then she joins you and gives you back all your materia and shit like that. So, wow, Pat, you missed 2 characters.
Oy.
Woo.
Look, it's also been quite a long fucking time since I've played Final Fantasy VII.
How long?
I mean, a long ass time, dude. I mean, the last time I probably played through it was probably high school. In all honesty.
That is quite a while. It's been about 2 years for me.
I mean, I always I enjoyed it, but it was never a top. It was Final Fantasy VIII for me. If I was gonna go replay through a Final Fantasy, I was replaying through 8 or 10.
That's probably because you missed 2 characters in the first one, though.
That's funny. One of those characters. I just
that's funny. I'm hoping though, in the next couple months that we get to see some summons. I really, really want to see what the summons look like. I have no doubt. I think they're going to be amazing looking, but I really want to see them. And just how visually amazing the game looks. I'm really looking forward to certain scenes from the original game, like Diamond Weapon walking out of the ocean, heading toward Midgard. Like stuff like that is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait. The complexity of the Scorpion boss really has me excited for the boss fights. Because there are certain boss fights like Ironclad or was it Hojo, even Sephiroth phases, Genova phases, like all that kind of stuff. I'm excited to see what they do with all those. I
personally can't wait for you to play it.
Because you're not going to be able to play it anytime soon?
Well, just because of how excited you are over it. Because I can only win in that situation, all right? Because one, you either love it and you just hype the absolute shit out of it and you just are so excited to talk about it. Or two, you are extremely disappointed by it and I get to listen to you fucking rant. Like, I can't lose.
Either way, it's going to be great for you.
Yeah.
That's funny. See, I'm telling you, it's one of those things where I'm so excited that I'm just like, I can't contain myself with how excited I am from what I saw. It's good. You need to look up the videos though, and see the content for yourself.
I already have YouTube up, ready to fucking go.
It's good stuff. I can't wait. So that was the biggest thing for me. Anything else for E3 for you?
No.
Nothing else.
Just nothing when I read. Like, I don't know. I just didn't care about anything I was reading about.
Did you look at the gameplay for the other Borderlands character?
I did not.
Me neither. Well, that's not entirely true. I watched a little bit, but I didn't see too much of it. What was she, like a mech? She has like a mech or something. I wanted to see some of the what was he, like a beast hunter or a beast something, the robot fella.
Yeah, he's almost supposed to be kind of like
Mordecai or something. Yeah, and so when I saw him, I'm like, that might
Mordecai,
be
not
my
Mordekaiser. Pat, you dumb fuck.
Did you say Mordekaiser?
I did, because I'm fucking stupid.
At first, when you were going about it, I was like, did I say that? And then you said, Pat, you dumb fuck. And I was like, oh, maybe he did it. I thought maybe I don't know. I can't tell.
At least he's put himself in his place,
Yeah, way to go. Good shit on Pat.
What a piece of shit.
No, so I haven't seen any gameplay for him, but I'm, if he's similar to Mordecai, then I think that might be the character I want to play the most because I like that style of play.
Yeah, I mean, part of me also I want to keep some of it unknown, because I love those games so much, and I just love kind of like I like sitting in the menu, and when I'm picking my character, like reading the description and looking over the skill trees, and I like going in blind a little bit.
See, that's going to be me with 7. Like, I want to see the summons, but when it actually comes time and people start getting early releases and reviewing the game and stuff like that, I'm not watching any of that shit. I don't want any of it. Like, I don't care what your opinion of is on the game. I don't give a shit about any of it. I'm going to just boot it up fresh, knowing what the summons look like and some of the other stuff, and that's going to be it. I'm like, here we go. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I got that remake trailer up and ready to go whenever we're finished so I can watch it. And
it's going to be cool.
Honestly, all I care about when I'm watching this is the Sephiroth's voice. That's it.
I was happy with it. I hope you are as well. I'm very happy with the character design too. I mean, the photo they released of him and obviously his sword and everything, I was like, yeah, that's sweet. So,
what is it with the and the sound in Final Fantasy games and villains.
Just in
Sephiroth,
general.
Cypher.
I don't know. Maybe it's a Japanese thing. I don't know. You know, since they are Western or not Western, since they are like JRPGs. I mean, it's kind of Western now, since but
Did you hear about? I heard that they mentioned like how they would go and watch like fan videos on YouTube of things they wanted to see from like the real super fans of the game, and they like mentioned one guy in particular. Did you see that?
for Seven's remake, no.
Yeah. I saw it on Reddit. It was talked about on Reddit, and then the guy like released a video about it. And I'll see if I can find it and send it to you.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see who they looked to, like who they were paying attention to, and what they.
According to Reddit, this guy is like the fucking super fan.
YouTuber gets emotional after finding out the creators of Final Fantasy VII Remake would watch his old reaction video and get to spot. Oh, it's Maximilian.
Oh well,
I watch Max's videos because he does mostly. He's a huge Final Fantasy fan, but he also does fighting videos, or fighting games and stuff like that. So I watch all of his stuff for that content. So that's very cool. I like him. He's a very nice guy. Maximilian dude.
Well, there you go.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to watch that. That's cool. Yeah, that's nice.
I haven't watched it, but I read through like the comments and everything, and there was not like a single negative or even like blurred line comment. You know, they were just all praising it.
That's very cool. I like that. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they brought back original people that worked on the game to work on this one, I mean, it's just like, oh, that's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, we're lucky that those people are still alive, honestly, because it was like 20 years ago.
It's not like
what?
Oh, Lord.
People die all the time, Pat.
Well, okay, yeah, sure, yeah. I guess the first thing my brain hopped to was like old age death, you know.
I mean, maybe.
Some 85-year-old dude was in there working on. I don't understand
possible.
Technology very well yet, but
I mean, it's certainly possible because in Japan, the work ethic is pretty extreme. They work long hours, and I think their life expectancy is better than ours. But then again, it doesn't take much. I mean, do you see the people walking around the U.S.? Good Lord. I said it and I mean it, damn it. Okay. Hold on, I'm looking at a life expectancy chart right now.
Of course, you fucking are.
Life expectancy in the U.S., we rank 53. Our life expectancy is 79. Japan is ranked number 2 at 85.
Who's won? Denmark, Sweden.
No. Monaco? Where's that?
I'm glad you said it. I didn't want to say
Monaco,
it and be ashamed.
Is that in France?
So I'm glad that you said it.
Maybe? Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, it's in France apparently. Theirs is 89, so like 4 years higher than Japan. Good Lord, why? What are they doing over there? Well, there's French people going.
Healthcare.
I see. Interesting.
There's a big thing that other countries do that really helps with their medical research and moving forward. I know this is 100% totally completely off topic here, but I found it very interesting and it popped in my head, so we're going to fucking talk about it.
Okay.
Is here in America, your medical records, confidential. They can't be viewed by anyone but like your doctor and anyone that you allow access to them for any reason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in I don't know about a lot, but in a handful of other countries, people who are trying to, develop medicines for things, make breakthroughs and things, they can view those records, but it's anonymous. So they have no name tied to it, but they can get all this information they need to do the things that they need to get the answers they need without having to dump all this money into other tests to then get those answers. And it's all anonymous. So it never fucking comes back on you or anything like that. And it helps better the research.
Yeah, there's a lot of, we don't want to get too much into the healthcare here in the U.S., but there's definitely a lot of issues with it. One of it being, that hospitals are heavily for profit, and it's all about how many, tests and scans they can run on you, not about what your actual problems are.
Yep.
So that's a big issue. Oh, and of course, we treat the symptoms here in the U.S. We don't actually treat any of the underlying causes for a lot of this shit. So
yeah,
that's a big problem. But
keep you alive enough so that you don't die. That way you can come back.
Yeah, they're definitely out for the monies. Although that reminded, I don't know why what you were saying
We are
reminded me
now
of this.
a conspiracy podcast.
Nice, let's do it. Which brings me to the next topic, where Sweden last year sent out pamphlets to all the residents in the country to start prepping, like doomsday prepping, because they are concerned that Russia's going to try to invade them in the coming years.
Really?
Yes. Since the Georgia thing a couple years ago, they're recommending they're recommending their citizens to doomsday prep and to have food stashed, and like really like they're pushing it on their citizens to prep for war.
Interesting.
And not even in the sense of like we're gonna go fuck up Russia, but in the sense of like if they decide to come try and fuck with us, like we need to be prepped. We need to be ready for this.
Yeah, like get your bug out bags ready.
Yeah. Pretty much. So I watched a really interesting documentary on it recently. It was kind of neat, and that reminds me of a story that a friend told me. So I had a friend in college that studied. I think he had a minor in Russian history or something like that, or just in Russian in general. I don't know why, but this is how you end up learning Russian at parties and shit like that. It was nonsense. We would get drunk and speak Russian. It was ridiculous. Anyway. So he was telling me about, Russia invading Finland in, I think it was World War II, and how Finland kept them from invading, and it was pretty brutal. So from what I recall, he told me is that Finland, they, we only train for war and stuff. In other countries, they only do it, during certain seasons. Where in Finland, they do it all year round, like every single day. They're training for their military training and stuff like that. And though their military is not vast, they're very specialized, and they just have really good training. Mm-hmm. And so what he had told me is that when Russia tried to, when they were getting ready to invade Finland, they would load up it was during the winter, so they would put bombs in their lakes because the lakes would freeze over, and they would blow up their lakes, and the Russian military force would drown in their freezing waters. And then
that's genius.
And then at night, and then of course the military force of Russia and Finland, like superior difference. I mean, Russia has a shit ton of people that they're putting into the country to try and take over. And the at night, the Finland military would actually ski down the mountains to where the Russians are camped, in their mountains and stuff, and they would kill people in their sleep. So they would ski down the mountains and kill everybody in the camps in their sleep.
Brutal.
Fucking intense. And so it ended up being I think the numbers were ridiculous. I think the Finns lost a couple hundred or maybe a couple thousand people, but the Russians lost like thousands of people or something like that. And so they ended up not invading and like pulling out of the country. And I was like, that's fucking nuts to think that such a small country could do stuff like that.
That's crazy. I love it. That's amazing.
Got to be the fact that like imagine dying with like 1,000 people around you in a frozen lake because they blew out the ice. Like, oh, that's intense.
It's like you get the shock from the explosion, you get the shock from the freezing cold water that you fall into, the hypothermia start kicking in, all your muscles start seizing up. Oh my god!
And you get the shock from the Finn standing on the shore watching you drown, and you're like, damn
in
it.
His skis. Yeah,
we're in the wrong country. Why did we come here? Yeah, because Liz and I were actually talking about potentially visiting Sweden because we're still trying to figure out where we want to go next year. And we were talking about, and I was like, I don't know, what if they end up at war with Russia by the time we get over there? Maybe we need to consider, another alternative. Like, I don't want to end up in a country during a war.
I mean, if it's something that they're preparing for them, it's something you should consider when visiting for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that their citizens are taking it very seriously, and they're like very seriously prepping for it. And I was like, that's very neat that they send out a pamphlet and they're very cautious about that. I'm like, I don't know. It was really cool.
Well, they have such a pride of country over there that it's so different from pride of country over here,
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It's a whole other thing.
Yeah, it's
off topic stuff. Before we end this, unless you have something for the Are You Fucking Kidding Me? I'm not happy with the World's Strongest Man results right now. I'm not thrilled. It's
Okay.
making me a little bummed out.
Fill me in.
So I mean, you may have seen the Discord between Mike and I. I watch World's Strongest Man because there's an American that I particularly like, and I watch all his YouTube stuff. He's a very humble guy, so I like his performance and what he does. He is 5th right now. We're going into the last event here soon. He is currently 5th. The Mountain is 3rd, and Martin is 1st, which I don't know who Martin is. He's an American too, but he's number 1 right now by quite a large margin, honestly.
I thought you said the Mountain got injured.
He did get injured. He tore his plantar fascia, which is like a muscle in your foot. He tore it day 1,
And he just said, "Fuck it."
Yeah, Brian, the guy that I cheer for, actually tore his last year and finished 3rd in the World's Strongest Man, I believe, last year. So you can still compete with it, but I mean, he's probably in a great deal of pain, I would assume.
Yeah.
But
But,
they're probably
that's
always in
your
pain,
fucking
honestly.
craft. You put it all on the line. And I get and respect that.
I was going to say, you eat 10,000 calories a day. You train 5-6 hours every single day, all year long, just for this competition. Like a little torn muscle in your foot, you're not going home over that.
Yeah, no way. Tape it the fuck up, and I'll put my weight on the heel of my foot or the ball of my foot, whichever the opposite end is. Let's have at it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. So no surprise. So yeah, it's not. I don't know. We've got the Atlas stones left. I mean, I don't think Brian can win now, which is unfortunate because I was kind of rooting for him to win his 5th World's Strongest Man because he's won 4. But it's unfortunate.
That's a bummer. Is the video that you linked in here today? Is that
is
2019?
Martin? Yeah, so that is Martin doing the squat lift. He's the American that's winning right now, and he won the squat lift. He did, how many reps did he do? He did 9 reps. Brian did 8, so he was right behind him. It's just an insane amount of weight, obviously, to be squatting. I mean, you could see just from the thumbnail, you can see the ridiculous size of the.
Oh, I'm watching it. I blew it up. This is
it's
crazy.
Kind of absurd.
Isn't it wild to think that, like, how much that weighs that he's squatting right now, and then think of like how much you weigh, and you are just nothing to this man.
Yeah. I mean, these people are like, you don't get the sense of their size in these kind of videos. But if you watch Brian like get on an airplane and watch him walk down the aisle and try to sit in a seat and realize that he's like 6'5" and like 350 pounds, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, that's like the Mountain. Whenever you see him like with like his girlfriend, fiance, wife.
His girlfriend, his fiance or whatever.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my God. He's a monster.
Super tiny. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's insane.
These people are freaks. I mean, in a good way, they're freaks. I mean, I don't know, they definitely have a lot of discipline and training on their side, but to an extent, like genetics play a pretty big role in this too.
Oh, definitely. Genetics.
I mean, you don't see me out here lifting anything. Yeah, you don't see me out here lifting anything over 10 pounds.
I mean, like I went through it like a lifting phase. For a while, like I was big into it. I had a regimen I went through. I was, I'm drinking protein, I'm watching what I eat, I'm doing all this, yada yada. And I definitely gained muscle. Like I've always kind of sat around like the 140, 150 mark for my weight. And I was like 175, maybe 180 at the peak whenever I was working out.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, again, it's genetics. No matter how much I worked out, how much I ate, how many calories I was intaking, I was on weight gainer protein that was just like an insane amount of calories and things like that to help you put weight on. I'm taking creatine to put on, water weight and everything, and it just never fucking happened. My body fat was still fucking nil, and I couldn't get big. Like I was cut and everything, but it did not matter what I did. I could not break past that point to get any bigger. Like genetics is a lot with it.
The other part of it too is it's just like you eventually plateau and it's hard to kind of get through that. I had the same problem when I was doing Muay Thai and put on like 15 pounds just from doing that. And eventually just eating like 5,000 calories a day, I was like, I'm so fucking tired of eating. I don't want to do this. So the fact that these guys have to eat, 10, 15,000 calories every single day to maintain just the size that they are. And that doesn't even mean that they're getting any bigger, but just to maintain where they are. Like, no, thank you. I'm happy with the like 1, maybe 2 meals a day.
Yeah, dude, the weight gainer powder I was on. I remember the first time because of course, had other proteins before that, and then I got to the point where I was like, I need to put size on, and was like researching and talking to people, and was referred to this protein powder to start taking. And whenever you get your protein, you pull out the little scoop, and it's just a little round guy you dump in there. When I opened up this weight gainer, it was literally like one of those square with almost like a pentagon, like laundry detergent scoops, dude. It was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh god, I gotta drink like
Crazy.
3 of these a day, and never happened.
It's nuts. All right, Pat. So you got anything for Are You Fucking Kidding Me this week?
Yeah, I do. Andy, are you fucking kidding me, buddy? That I didn't mention you having a child in the podcast. All right? Are you fucking kidding me? You gonna bust my balls about this? Huh? I'm trying to keep your privacy for you, all right? It's not my place to go around telling people that my friend Andy from Pennsylvania had a child named Callan with his wife, Hallie, all right? See?
And their addresses, right. Phone number, social security, credit card.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm doing this for you. But if you're going to be so upset, I'll throw your information around all willy-nilly, all you want, all right? So congratulations on the child, you dick.
That's a good way to do it. I think that belongs in the right section too. But yes, congratulations though on the newborn.
All right, I'm done.
That's all you got to get off your chest this week.
That's it. Yeah, that's all I had.
That's it for now.
I was really sick this week. Really sick. I'm still like getting over
physically
it.
sick, like you have a cold or something.
Yeah, like really bad. Like I definitely feel a lot better today. I don't feel 100%. I still got some like congestion working its way out, and my throat feels mostly better and everything. But dude, I was sick so bad that I mean, Britt will probably never admit to it, but she was definitely probably as I creep my way into the bedroom. See, this is also why I really enjoy a wireless headset.
Uh-oh.
She already has her wide-eyed look ready to go for me.
Oh, good.
I was so sick that, what was it, Thursday night into Friday night? I slept that night, Chris. Okay, I slept, but my body was in so much physical pain. Like anytime I moved while sleeping, I would just go like in my sleep, I guess, and I kept Britt up all night, and
just
she would
grunting.
not. Like just moaning in pain, wishing that I would die. Starting, like becoming a saved Christian, so that way I could pray to God and He would maybe answer my prayers to just take me. And she would never admit it, but I can tell she hated me. Oh, there it is. She admitted it. All right.
I did.
She barely slept that night. She came home the next day, dude, at 4:00, went to bed at 6.
That's funny. I've heard her say before that she hates you, but that was usually like when betrayal would happen, and she would get fucked over in betrayal or something like that.
Oh, because I'm ruthless at games. I will not let her win.
No, I know that. You take no mercy on anybody. It doesn't matter what your connection is with them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. My dad's on his deathbed. I could really use this win. Too bad, buddy.
That's just too fucking bad. Call your dad up. Let him know you're about to get fucked.
Yeah, let him know you're a loser. How about that? That's so terrible.
I like that. I hope we're not put in that situation where we have to do that, but
yeah, I don't want to have to actually do that to somebody. Please don't put me in that situation. If you are in that situation, just don't tell me. Live with it yourself.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. All right, Pat, well, take us out of this episode.
Oh man, I'm actually a little caught off here. I'm not 100% sure what to do. I think the last 2 or 3, you've just kind of been like, all right, see ya, and you've taken us out of the last couple, buddy.
I
know that.
Well, I'm excited. This one's actually longer than the last one too, because last week it was like, okay, I guess we're done with this. Are we done with it? I guess we're done.
It was like
this one's going to be like an hour and a half or something.
Yeah, this is a long boy. Yeah, we started probably like 10 minutes after 3. Yeah, we're
Something,
almost at an
yeah.
hour and a half. Yeah, because
Good
we don't
for
have nearly
us.
the same startup time anymore. We did it, boys.
We've done it. Yep.
All right, cool. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. If there's anything about E3 that we didn't mention that you were excited about, please let us know. We say this in the podcast all the time, so please let us know. And no one ever lets us know. So either we cover things perfectly or you hate us and don't want to talk to us. Please
It might
talk
be
to
that
us.
one. I think it's more of a like, oh, I should let them. Fuck it. I don't
I'll
care.
grovel. I will. I will grovel. Please talk to us. Please come in
Please,
and just chat with us in the
please post
Discord.
stuff on Discord, and then I
Yeah,
promise we'll talk back to you.
I would love
Although,
to. It's
although I will say, Joe, don't post any more shit about WoW Classic. Okay, we get it. You're
he's
excited.
going to.
Oh, I know he's going to. For fuck's sake.
It's gonna
Okay.
be extra. Now that you even said anything, he's coming in with extra.
Unless
He's
he
had a
doesn't listen this
backlog of
far.
stuff just waiting to
I bet
go.
he does. I bet he
And
fucking
he's like, I'm
does.
just releasing the whole backlog now. Just open the
Every
gates.
day. Every day. He's just every hour he's got something that he wants to post. I'm just like, God, here comes the WoW Classic shit again.
No, I'm glad he's so excited about it. I hope it lives up to his expectations.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I'm glad he's excited. I'm glad he's it's something he's really looking forward to. But for fuck's sake, okay?
Hey, buddy, I'm glad you're so excited, but could you move the fuck along? No.
Be excited about something else for a little bit. Shit.
Joe's a good sport. He'll find that funny. And if he doesn't, he'll fucking let us know.
Oh yeah, we'll know from that one. 100%.
But yeah, let us know if there's any E3 stuff that you guys want to chat about that we didn't. We would love to chat about it with you. If let us know about your thoughts on declawing, and if you didn't know these things, and if maybe we changed your mind. We'd love to change your mind on that topic. Maybe even chat to you more if you're not fully convinced yet.
I will say, if you're in the camp, okay, so this is something I read recently. There are people in a camp that believe that declawing cats needs to be done because cats are, evasive and they kill off rare bird species and shit like that. Which, yeah, I mean, I'll admit, cats go out there, they kill a shit ton of animals. Like that's what they do, and they fuck up a lot of stuff.
It's fucking nature.
Yeah, declawed cats can still kill birds, 100%. Okay, and I was reading a post about this recently because there was an article that came out which some guy was bitching about the declaw and how he's upset that it's passing because of wildlife in New York or whatever. And a guy posted from New Zealand. He was like, declawing is illegal and has been illegal here for a long time, and we're loaded with rare bird species, but no one is over here advocating to go back on it and go back to declawing. So
yeah, because cats don't kill with their claws.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to chew the shit out of it. I mean, of course, a declawed cat is still going to catch a bird. Like they're going to hop up, they're going to catch a bird with their teeth. I mean, they crazy little bitches.
Yeah.
But you also have to consider most cats that are declawed, they're not going outside. Like they're indoor pets, and people are trying to protect their furniture. It's a furniture protection method more than it is anything else. And they're probably not going outside anyway. So those cats, it doesn't matter. Those cats might end up outside after you declaw them, and they're peeing over the floor, and you're like, well, I don't want to deal with this shit. Go outside.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Which, if you're that person that puts your cat outside after you declaw it because you don't want to deal with it and you're never taking it back in, like, fuck you. Okay. You are a terrible human being.
Let them know. Animals are living things too. They're not just conveniences for you to feel good occasionally.
Yeah. Unsubscribe to our podcast if you're that person. I don't want to hear from you.
Yeah, let them know.
And with that, I hope everyone has a great week.
Except for that one guy who's listening right now and he's like, well, I'm still going to declaw my cat.
Still declawing, and I'm going to subscribe, so fuck you guys. I'm like, you motherfucker, I will come after you.
Get him out of here.
All right. No, I hope everyone has a great week. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll talk to you soon.
Love you. Bye.